Hi and welcome to this tutorial that is the Thistle Twist Flower. This is our 6th flower in the Midsummers Dream CAL that we are hosting here at SistersInStitch, and it's such a beauty. She has all these textures. She has this gorgeous little cup at the bottom, and we have these whimsical pistils sticking out. I mean, this one is so much fun and must be by far the whimsical one in the bunch. I love her to bits and she's absolutely a blast to work up. So let's start. So to make the Thistle Twist, you need 2 colors of yarn. I have chosen vanilla and icy blue in the must-have yarns from Yarn & Colors for this one, along with a 3mm hook, and of course a scissor and some needles to fasten off those ends. But that's all that you really need. You can also make use of a little stitch marker when we are working these rounds up, okay? So add that to the bunch and then let's begin. To begin, we simply do a magic circle. You can of course do a chain ring too if you want to. And then we are chaining 1 for the height and working 6 single crochets into our ring, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There we go. And then we pull out the end tail, the beginning tail, and pulling it back to the back. There we go. And then we slip stitch into the very first stitch of this round to close, like that. For round number 2, we are simply chaining 1 for the height, and then we're doing 2 single crochets in each stitch across, okay? So do 2 single crochets in each stitch, which will make our stitch count to 12. So now we are at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I will continue working in the round. You can of course slip stitch, chain 1 and just do another row on top of this. But I think the end result will be much neater if we just do continuous round, okay? We are now going to make 1 single crochet in each stitch across for 4 rounds. So make a single crochet in the first and in the second. And then you take a stitch marker and place in the first one. And then you know where your rounds begin, okay? So we are doing single crochets in every stitch across, which means 12 single crochets. Look at that. Now we are getting to the end here. So there we go. And now before I do the other 3 rounds, I will actually fasten off my starting thread, because this will start to cup and it will be hard to get in there as we keep on building upwards. So do that and then do 3 more rows of single crochets, 12 per round, okay? And then meet me up for round number 7. And there we go. You should now have done 4 rounds of 12 single crochet per round, okay? So now it's time to take this one out and actually start doing these lovely little ruffle sections, okay? This is gonna be so much fun. So many stitches, but so much fun, okay? So what we do now to close this round, we simply slip stitch into the first stitch, and then we're chaining 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we're turning our work so it's facing the wrong side towards us. And into the same stitch that we are in, we are doing our first treble, okay? This is gonna be so luscious. And then we are chaining 1 and doing another treble into the same stitch. Like that. Chaining 1 again and doing another treble, the third one into here. And then we are chaining 5, 3, 4, and 5. And then we are going back once more into the same stitch and work a slip stitch. And don't get caught up in all those trebles when you do it like that. And that is our first petal out of 12. So you have a chain 5, a treble, chain 1, treble, chain 1, treble, chain 5, slip stitch, all in the same stitch. Super easy, it just takes a little bit of time, okay? So we are jumping into the next stitch, and I'll show you once more how to do this one, and then I'll leave you to it, okay? So slip stitch and chain 5, 4 and 5. Do a treble, yarn over times 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull through 2, chain 1, and another treble, chain 1 again, and do the last treble. Chaining 5, 3, 4, and 5, and then we slip stitch back into the same space. Okay? So this will be all luscious and ruffled and amazing. So just keep on doing that 10 more times and meet me up to close this round, okay? Have fun! And there we go, I have come all the way around. And it looks absolutely amazing, doesn't it? I mean, come on, so much ruffles. So I haven't done the last slip stitch. I forgot to mention that, but I hope you can see. Because I'm simply going to fasten it down here as my slip stitch. I'm faking a slip stitch. And it's so much texture here, so one will... And it's so much texture down here, so one will not know where this one is, I promise. So I'm just going to hide my end tail here. Just going back and forth up here a few times, and then I'll get on to do the final little piece that will be in the center here, okay? So do that and meet me up for round number 8. So for round number 8, we are creating this center pistil platter, as I call it. It's like a little flat circle down the bottom, and then we have these pistils sticking up, and it's so gorgeous. It just brings that little extra. I was actually doing a little pearl first, but it fell so flat, so I decided to actually do this one instead. And I think it turned out absolutely gorgeously. Matches well with the ruffles. So enough talking, grab your color B and let's begin. So to start, we as always do a magic circle, my favorite. Can anyone guess? And then we are doing a chain 1 and 5 single crochets into it. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, like that, pulling the end back into the circle. There we go, back down and tighten, and then we simply slip stitch into our first real stitch and not in the chain 1. There we go, and this will count as our first stitch of the next round. So yeah, let's get going. So as you can tell, I fastened off my starting end because it kept going in the wrong way as I was trying to film. So now we can start fresh. And as you know, we are using our closing slip stitch from round 8 to our first stitch of round 9. So slip stitch and chain 5, 4 and 5. And into the second chain from the hook, not that first, but that second one, we are making 3 half double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. There we go. And then we slip stitch our way back. So 1 slip stitch, tight slip stitch, into the next 3 chains that are left here. There we go. Like that. And then we slip stitch back into the same stitch, just to anchor it a little bit and make it more secure. And that's it. So I'm going to do one more with you, and then I will leave you to do the last 3, okay? So slip stitch into the next stitch, chaining 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5, and in the second loop from your hook, do 3 half double crochets. 1, 2 and 3. There we go, like that. And then a tight slip stitch in each chain down, and with tight I just mean a slip stitch that you tighten and keeping it very close to the body, and not, we don't want bulky stitches. So there we go. And then work your last slip stitch down at the bottom where you did the last one, like that. It's gonna look like a little starfish or something when we have finished, but don't worry, these will be pulled upwards when we pull it down our flower. So do this repeat 3 more times and meet me up to close and attach, okay? Have fun! And there we have it. My last slip stitch is done. I'm just gonna cut the end and pull up the loop. There we go. Oh my. Yeah, save a bit of thread, but maybe not this long. But I will make it work. You don't need this much to secure, but yeah, better safe than sorry. So what you will do now is simply do an invisible join to any stitch close to the other pistil, okay? It's not important to how this looks because, yeah, this will be hidden inside the flower. So just take your needle and bring it all to the center, because we want this to go right down the flower. And then take your flower and use the same needle, go through the center, and simply pull it down into the gap. And just, you can use your finger to push it in a little bit if you want to, but like that. Easy peasy. And so we are just simply going back and forth here once or twice to make sure that it will stay in place. There we go. Look at that, so cute. And now I'm just gonna go, this will be attached to a headband, so I'm just gonna secure it back and forth here on the back side. There we go, like that. And voila, here we have her, our darling little Thistle Twist. She's absolutely adorable, so much texture, so many layers. I mean, I can just look at her for days. Oh, so much fun. I think this must be the most whimsical of them all. And yeah, we are finished with our 6th flower of our Midsummers Dream CAL. All the written patterns and other flowers and information can be found on our homepage, SistersInStitch.com, where you can also download the PDF files if you want to make more and keep them and save them. So yeah, next time we will be doing the very last flower, and it's going to be so much fun. I can't wait to start assemble everything to our Forever Love Wreaths and see how they all turn out. So yeah, stay tuned, one more flower to go, and then we are at Midsummers. Have a lovely day and see you soon.